Assalamualaikum. My name is Balkis and I am going to assist you in conducting the anthropometry lab. As you have learned in class, anthropometry is a science that deals with the measurement of size, weight, and the proportions of the human body. But then, what is the definition of anthropometric measurements? Anthropometric measurements are a series of quantitative measurements of the muscles, the bone, the adipose tissue that are used to assess the composition of the body. So during this lab, you have to form a group of 5, then complete the 3 tasks. The first task is you have to use the measuring tape to measure the furniture dimension. So you can refer table 1 and figure 1 for the details. Secondly, you have to take the measurement of each team's member body dimensions and fill up the table 2. So you can refer table 2 and also the figure 2. Then thirdly, by referring to the table 3, you have to investigate whether there is a mismatch between UMP student and the furniture in laboratory. So all reports must be submitted as a formal written reports. So you have to use 12 fonts, then use Times New Roman, then you have to include the cover page, the introduction, the purpose of the lab, methodology of the lab such as the subject information that you have been measured, the equipment utilized such as the use of measuring tape, then laboratory environment, and also the process of data collection. Then you also have to involve the analysis, the results, discussion or conclusion, and the references if there is any information that you get from the website. Then you have to insert all the pictures in the appendix section. Okay, now let's proceed to first process that you have to measure the furniture dimensions. All the measurements should be in millimeter. So there is 11 furniture or the dimensions that you have to measure, such as the seat height, seat width, upper edge of backrest, width of backrest, the height of backrest, desk width, desk depth, desk height, underneath of desk height, seat to desk clearance, and also seat to desk height. Okay, as you can see in the figure, this is an example of the measurement that has been conducted at UMP. So the first thing is desk depth. Desk depth is in the white color. Desk depth is the distance from the edge of the table until the end of the table. Then desk height. Desk height in the orange color is the distance from the top of the table to the floor. Then underneath desk height is the distance from below of the table until the floor. Then you can see at the yellow color is the seat height. So seat height is the distance from the seat to the floor. Then seat to desk clearance in pink color is the distance from below of the table to the seat. Then seat depth is the width of the legs cushion, as you can see in the green color, and in the blue color, seat to desk height is the distance of at the top of the table to the seat. Okay, as you can see from here, this is the chair. In red color is the distance or the measurement of the width of the backrest. Then in green color is the upper edge of the backrest. You can measure the distance from the top of the backrest to the seat. And in green color is the height of the backrest. So you can measure from the distance from the top of the chair to the end of the backrest. Then the white color is the seat width. So you can measure it, the widthness of the chair based on the white color that I have been with right there. Then this is the figure of the table from the lateral view. So you can measure the desk width from the edge until the end of the table, as being shown in the yellow color. Okay, now let's move on to the second processes of this lab, that you have to measure the body dimensions of your friends. So after you calculate the body dimensions, you have to calculate the mean and also get the standard dimensions. There are 11 measurements that you need to measure. The first one is popliteal height, buttock popliteal length, hip width, subscapular height, shoulder height, iliac crest height, the lumbar height, thigh thickness, the knee height, elbow sitting height, and the body mass index of your friends. Okay, as you can see from here, this is the body dimensions of the subscapular height. So in this study, I am using the anthropometry, but you are allowed to use the measuring tape only. So in order to measure the subscapular height, you have to measure the height from the subscapular, which is the area of the human back under the scapula, to the seat. Then the elbow height sitting. It is the distance between the seat and the lowermost part of the elbow. Then popliteal height. Popliteal height is the height of the popliteal fossa, which is underside of the knee. So you have to add 2.5 centimeter if the shoes are worn. Then use the first or fifth percentile female per popliteal height to specify the maximum weight of the fixed high seats. Then the thigh thickness. Thigh thickness is the vertical distance from the seat surface to the top of the uncompressed soft tissue of the thigh as its thickest point, generally where it meets the abdomen. So you can refer here. Then the buttock popliteal length is the horizontal distance from the wall to the underside of the knee. So you can see this is the measurement at the red horizontal line. Then we proceed to the knee height. Knee height is we measure from floor to top of the knee. So you have to use to specify the minimum height of the underside of a desk or console above the floor. So you have to add 2.5 centimeter to the male 95th or 99th percentile knee height while using shoe. Then the shoulder height is the distance from center of rotation of the upper limb from the seat. So you have to use the first, the third, or the fifth percentile female height to specify the maximum height of the hand controls. As you can see here, the red line is the measurement of the shoulder height. Meanwhile, the hip width is measured at the widest point of the hips. Then the lumbar height. Lumbar height is the vertical distance from the lumbar vertebrae to the seat. Then the iliac crest height is the distance between the seat and the iliac crest, which is the arching bones sit on either side of your pelvis. So you can see at the back of your body there is the arching bones. You can feel it. So you have measured from there to the seat. Okay, now we are at the end of the processes in the lab, which you have to measure the mismatch of the whether there is a mismatch between the student and also the furniture dimension. So you have to refer table 3 for any measurement. So if you see at the seat height, you have to insert the value of the pop little height and the shoe correction. If the shoe are not used, so you just put it 0. But in case there is a shoe have been used, so you have to put 2.5 centimeter. In the seat depth, you have to insert the value of buttock pop little length. Then in seat width, you have to ensure the hip width is less than the seat width. Then the upper edge backrest, you have to make sure that subscapular height, the value of SUH, is more than or equal to the UEB, which is the upper edge backrest. Then the mismatch of seat to desk clearance, you can see the equation there. Tight thickness plus 2 must the value must be lower than the seat to desk clearance. But however, if you didn't get the value of the SEC, you can use the value of UDH. Okay, so UDH is the underneath desk height. It can be used by the following formula, which is the seat height plus tight thickness plus 2 must be lower than the underneath desk height. Then if you only gathered the value of knee height, then the tight thickness can be estimated with the following equation, which is the knee height minus pop little height, and then you multiply by 1.7. Last but not least, you have to find the mismatch of desk height, which you have to consider the value of the seat height, the elbow height seating. Then if you see at the observation, so the equation is with the x degree backward slope or negative seat angle. So if the seat has forward slope or positive angle, so you should use the equation that has been stated there, which seating height plus seat depth multiply by sin 5 degree. So you have to consider the seat angle in order to identify the mismatch of desk height. Okay, so that is the end of the slide. So before I end this sharing, I hope that you remember to do all the report, informal written reports. Also including the fonts Times New Roman and also the size 12. Then, okay, we recap again. The 3 processes that you have to do is firstly, you have to measure the furniture dimension. Then secondly, you have to measure the body dimensions of your friends. And thirdly, you have to find or identify the mismatch between the student and also the furniture dimensions. Okay, so I hope that you can do the lab report efficiently. All the best and good luck. Thank you.